Hello lovelies and welcome to the channel. First off, excuse the very nasally voice I got happening. This lovely weather has brought out my sinusitis, which I always am lucky enough to experience, so if you hear any random sneezes or anything like that, just excuse that. But I really wanted to get this video up for you. I love how this page turned out. So this is an art journal page in my Use It Up journal. Many people have Use It Up journals. It's basically a small art journal where you clean off your extra paint, clean off stencils, things like that. In my case, I clean off my stencils a lot in it. So whether that be color paste or inks or anything like that. And so this is one of those pages where I wanted to use one of my Use It Up pages. It's a great little journal if you want to do something creative but don't know where to start, or just, want to play with some paint and just have a go. That's basically what I wanted to do here. Like I've said, most of my art journal pages go through a hot mess stage. This one had a doozy. I didn't like it at all to start with, but I found that adding more paint really helped. So I just sprayed some color spray just to get a background color happening. And then I've gone in with some dark navy. It's After Midnight paint. It's a Dylusions paint. I'm really trying to use up colours that I don't use often. Like I've said in my past few videos, I'm trying to branch out in my colour combinations. Yes, it is still a blue page, but I don't pick up the After Midnight often, which is why it's actually a little drying out. So I had to really work to get that on there. So this is where I'm not liking it. I really loved the background. I loved the reverse number stencil and the black circles, but I couldn't make it work. So in the end, I decided to add some gesso to some of this midnight and get a lighter blue. And as I'm blending that together, then I start to enjoy it. I start to like it a bit more. So like I said, when in doubt, add more paint. I didn't like it. I think it was just too much contrast. There was no blending. So I think when I bring in the paint now, I got some more variation, some more blending, and it works much better for me. So I'm much happier with it by the time I finish with the paint. Every now and then I just love to grab a paintbrush and just play with paint. Don't we all? But I don't use brushes often, but every now and then I just really want to grab one of my favourite Dina Wakley paintbrushes and just spread some paint around. And this was one of those days. I really loved those black stars in the background. Now, I think that they were actually, when I cleaned off one of my stencils, so it's actually Colour Blast Colour Paste in Dusty Charcoal, but I loved that they added that dark contrast to the background. Now what I'm going to do now is some of those elements in my background that I've painted over, I wanted to bring back in. So I'm doing some more black circles with the lid of my Dylusions paint, and then I'm also using just a random tool, a paint scraping tool. What do they call it again? Spatula, there we go. And just putting some random black lines. I like making marks, and especially when I've got like a bold contrasting color like black. Then I'm going to get my fan brush and try and do some splatters, but I accidentally touched my page, which gives me this really cool little pattern. So I decided to go with it and add a few more in intentionally. There are no mistakes in art, as I'm always telling my 6-year-old. Everything happens for a reason. You can't get anything wrong when it comes to art. There is no wrong. And now that I've got my background, I decided to bring some more of those stars in. We know how much I love stars. Stars are a thing that I love. It's my favourite shape. And when I have a page that has stars in it, yeah, actually I have a lot of pages that feature stars as a focal image, but it's just something that I love so much. And so I just wanted to bring some more of those big black stars in. The stencil I've used in the background to wipe away some of my paint is a smaller star stencil. Excuse me. But I wanted to add some bigger stars as well. So this is a Colour Blast stencil that I got in my August kit. It's actually turned out to be one of my favourite stencils, and yeah, I use it quite often. This is what I do with my stencils. I clean them off in my journal. So I clean off my journal, but I clean off my stencils, but when because I use wet ones, I don't wash them. I just rub them with a wet one, and then that's the extent of my cleaning. But if you put it on a piece of paper or in a journal, when you rub over that stencil with a wet one, you actually get an imprint of the image. So that's how I start with a lot of these pages, because yeah, I get imprints of my stencils quite often. I absolutely love the way it looks. So I've decided to get my white Gelly Roll pen and outline some of those stencils. Some of those stars, sorry. Now, I didn't really have an idea for what I was going to do with this art journal page. I just, went to town. I wasn't sure if I was going to add writing or a focal image or anything like that. But something that I do often is, I love music, and I tend to always have a song in my head. Some songs I love more than others, and really, I listen to them to death until I'm totally sick of them. And in this case, I had a song stuck in my head for a few days. And it was actually a Jimmy Barnes song. I've been listening to a lot of Jimmy Barnes lately. And I find when I get something stuck in my head for a few days, if I use it in a journal page, it sort of helps get it out of my head, if that makes sense. Not that I had a problem with it being in my head, but it's sort of like an inspiration piece for me. So that's what I decided to do here. I wanted to do some scribble journaling. And so I journaled the lyrics to this song that's been stuck in my head for about a week now. I absolutely love this song. It's a Jimmy Barnes song, Walk On. And I've been practicing my scribble journaling. I love the fact that you can't read it, but I do love how that white stands off that dark background quite beautifully. So I really love this page. It's one of my favorites that I've done in a long time, and I really wanted to share it with you. So I hope you have enjoyed the video. And thanks for watching, and I will be back on Friday with a new video. I think I'm going to aim for a Project Life. Cross your fingers, because I know I always say that. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed my layout. Bye for now.